I went and did it again. I got shit in my eye and I'm wearing glasses. And also, I watched a movie without audio description. Alright, I'm John Stark from Movieguy.com, and this is a review of Citizen Ruth. I'm a blind film critic, and this movie had no audio description, so it was questionably moderately okay to follow. It's on Paramount Plus for anyone who's like, oh my god, where's Citizen Ruth at? I haven't seen that in years. I just had never seen it and heard good things. It's all right. I feel weird calling it an abortion comedy, but it is. I don't know that that's a thing that's real, but it is an abortion comedy. In a way that you have Laura Dern, who plays Ruth, is kind of a complete train wreck of a human being, and not necessarily the person that you would want for them to have more kids. She's already had some, and she just kind of keeps doing drugs and getting drunk, and she kind of has a terrible life, and she just kind of blames everybody but herself for her situation. And it's supposed to be a comedy because her performance is so like over the top. Like Laura Dern is just in her own world during the course of this film. And it presents sort of both sides, but it presents both sides as equally sort of deranged. So it's not really taking a side on abortion, and Ruth doesn't really take a side on abortion either. So it actually manages to be an abortion comedy that isn't really here. It's not, I mean, like, it does make fun of, pro-life people, and they get together and they sing songs about Jesus, and they protest about babies' births, and making sure that people don't have abortions. And I mean, there are characters here, but there's also characters on the other side that are characters of real life people, people who are a little too extreme to be real. I don't know how else to put that. The cast has sort of like a random assembled cast of characters, from everybody from Burt Reynolds to Tippi Hedren is in this. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag. It kind of felt very 90s, kind of felt very Alexander Payne's Election, sort of. If I had to compare it to something, it felt a little bit like that, like it was trying to make a point about something. Don't take us too seriously. But I guess I thought Laura Dern was a bit much. I thought the performance was a little bit too over the top. It didn't really match the rest of the film. Granted, I did approach this without audio description, but like every time she talked, she was always like, "Oh man, I don't know how. What's going on?" And I'm like, this is post Jurassic Park Laura Dern. What's going on here? There's no real existence or reason for this performance. I think it got like a Golden Globe nomination for like comedy, for actress in a comedy. But I don't know why. I mean, she didn't like make me laugh more. It just kind of felt weird about the whole movie. it has some moments where it makes some points, and I was like, that's funny, or that's a cute way of looking at it, and approaching a difficult topic and making an abortion comedy. But at the same time, I just like I just really didn't like Laura Dern's character. And I kind of just didn't want her to have a baby because she's so terrible as a human being that why would anybody want her to have a baby? And I think that's the point, is that we're trying to force this woman who's like sniffing glue while pregnant. The whole thing comes about because she's on trial for being pregnant and endangering the fetus because of all of the shit she just keeps doing. And this one guy takes pity on her and tries to show her the error in her ways, and takes her into his household, so to speak, but in like the creepiest way possible. Like there's a point where he does this like pull out couch thing, and he's like, "You used to be my bachelor, bad." And I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen here? Is Kurtwood Smith gonna be a weirdo? No, he's just gonna insinuate that he's a creepy weirdo. Anyway, I don't really know what to think about Citizen Ruth. I don't know that anybody cares. I don't think there's anybody who's like, oh my god, I was waiting for one more review on Citizen Ruth to watch it or don't watch it. I think it makes some good points. I think there's some writing here that's strong. I think the acting, aside from Laura Dern, is really good, which is weird because I think that she's the one that gets recognized. To be fair, for Laura Dern, I did not expect this performance. So in a weird way, even though I found her performance grating, I think that's the point. So I actually even think Laura Dern has good acting in here, because of all the times I've seen Laura Dern on screen, I've never seen this before. So it showed that she has range, I guess. It was a weird one. So yeah, I don't have to say anything about audio description because Paramount Plus didn't give it to me. Those people. I actually called somebody at Paramount Plus to complain about something totally unrelated, and their poor, sad customer service lady picked up the phone, and she had never dealt with a blind person, and audio description didn't even know it. And when I explained it, she just assumed all of the titles on Paramount Plus had audio description. And like, she was like, well, why wouldn't we offer that? And I was like, that's a great question. Like, she had the logical answer, like, right away. And I was like, you realize you're making your own company look bad. Like, that was, I mean, like, I appreciate the mentality behind, like, well, we should have 100% accessibility. Yeah, you should. Cool. I know you can't do anything about that. You're just the girl who picks up the phone and listens to complaints. But it was really funny to get that perspective from the person who assumed that, of like, why wouldn't we be accessible? This is a great question. Why wouldn't you be accessible? I don't know. Email somebody about that and let them know what your thoughts are on that. Anyway, so yeah, Citizen Ruth does not have audio description. But I guess it's time to drop a grade. Yeah, I thought I was catching up on a classic, but I think I'm catching up on a film that's like, I don't know. Is this going to stand the test of time? I don't really know. Does it feel relevant? Yeah, this year I also watched the documentary The Janes, and I keep watching things about abortion, and I'm not really meaning to. I'm just sort of randomly, it just keeps happening. So, maybe this film is finding a new life. Maybe that's why Paramount Plus was suggesting it to me. They were like, suggested for you, Citizen Ruth. And I was like, you know what? I didn't get to see that when it was in theaters. And it had enough dialogue that I was able to follow it. So it didn't have a lot of scenes where they just sat in silence. So anyway, but ultimately, it was all right. So I'm gonna give Citizen Ruth a B minus. It was kind of a nice blast from the past to see a cast assembled of Burt Reynolds and Tippi Hedren and Mary Kay Place, and you know, it was a throwback, but it's all right. Anyway, that's it for me for this film. Let me know what you think in the comments. You can like and subscribe. MacTheMovieGuy.com for more reviews. The Audio Description Project, adp.acb.org, will let you know what movies have audio description, where you can watch them. And the adna.org would normally let you know who the narrator is and like what they're up to, but there's no narrator for this. So, them's the breaks. Until next time, see you on the other side.